Nation,
Whoa.
we are back.
We are? Shit. I didn't even know it.
Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building. Appreciate every single one of you guys for rocking with us. As always, welcome to the latest installment of the Graphk and Wasted Show.
Or the Wasted Graphic Show, whichever way you like to slice it. What is the deal, bro?
My brother, I am whooped. I've been ripping all week long, man, doing this Shrine Bowl. I can't even talk right now because I'm so pissed. Buffalo's getting cooked right now, bro. Like, it looks like it's about to be on the verge of getting out of hand here very, very soon. But real quick, before we get to the shits, salute to everybody here in the building, man. Make sure you guys wipe them feet, pay your bar tabs, hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed yet. Salute to everybody watching on Wasted channel, watching on my channel, watching on Twitter. Salute to you guys, as always. If you guys want to, if you're on Twitter, you want to get really involved with the comment section, man, jump over to one of our YouTubes. Doesn't matter. It's a family affair over here. We definitely appreciate all you guys. We see Green Dot Gang heavy in the building. We say Get Off My Lawn Gang here in the building. Salute to you guys. Real talk. But yeah, man, it's been an interesting week, man. Just go with the Shrine Bowl. Got a chance to talk to a few of the guys today. You know, Kyle McCord, man, Raheem Sanders, the young pup out of South Carolina, and man, I talked to Shiloh a bunch of times and kind of just picking his brain about the draft process and what he got going on. It's been cool, man. It's just been a blessing, bro, to be out there and do what we love to do, man. You know what I mean? How you living?
Man, hey, bro. I told you, man. I'm not doing great, man. Today I said, look, man, the Queefs are going to the Super Bowl again, bro. And it's freezing up here in New Jersey, and it's just a shitty weekend, man. I'm not feeling well physically. It's just shit. Yeah, what? I want to bring all that vitriol to this show, all that anger.
Talk. Hopefully, Josh Allen could pull a rabbit out of it, out of a hat soon. But I don't know, man. They got about 148 left here in the second quarter. 2 timeouts. We'll see if they can go on a drive. They got to score some points here, but no, I agree with you, man. I think our only hope at this point is Saquon Barkley, man. Like, real talk, just feed that man, in New Orleans in a few weeks from now, and just let that kid go out there and cook, bro. Like, real talk.
That's it, man. Play some bully ball, But bro, look, the narrative has been set by the National Football League. The way they officiate these games and how they don't let anybody even blow a kiss at Patrick Mahomes, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and they want to put some things on his resume that Tom Brady don't have.
Look, Josh Allen threw a crazy little pass right there, got about 4 or 5 yards. That was kind of scary in traffic. Salute to Martin, man. Just say hello. Just wanted to say hello from Fresno, California. Go Raiders. Salute to my guy, Martin, out there in Fresno, CA. Salute to my guy. Salute to One Nation also. How's it going, Grab? I've been watching the show since the jump, brother. When I got out the Army in 2020, salute to you, man. I just want to draft Jackson Dart and pick up Fields if he's available. What do you guys think? You know what's so funny? Salute to Jackson Powers Johnson and his family. His mom just hit me up in the DM and said, hey, because she thinks that I'm in the Senior Bowl right now, but I'm actually covering the Shrine Bowl. But I think she believes that I may be going out there sometime this week. I decided to stay and cover the Shrine Bowl here in Dallas. But if she said, can you do me a favor and tell all the Oregon Ducks and tell Jackson Dart, who's a very close friend of the family, what's up? You know what I mean? So I'm going to try and see if I can reach out to some of our people that are going to be out there and see if they can put the word out there. But look, I'm not a major Jackson Dart guy. Waste is not either. You know what I mean? Do I like The athleticism he possesses, yes. Do I like the physical traits? Yes. I think that he could be a guy if you get the right person in the building. But I'm gonna be honest, man. That's like, man, maybe my fourth favorite quarterback in this draft.
Yeah, I mean, he is a guy that you know, the Raiders would be wise to take a flyer on if it's the right situation.
Yeah.
But he's also a guy that, as everything starts to happen, this draft process starts to happen, people are going to over-evaluate him, and he's probably going to go a lot earlier than he should.
Yeah, I agree. And he might potentially end up being a first-round guy because of how thin this class is. And once again, I like Kyle McCord. He took the Shrine Bowl by storm. I'm telling you right now, all we heard was Kyle McCord's name out there this entire week. You know what I mean? And that's not really a lot to say because a lot of those guys were out there struggling at the quarterback position. But Kyle McCord was just out there cooking, bro. He was out there cooking.
Yeah, guys dropping snaps and stuff like that. Hey,
and Miller, yeah.
Right.
He was struggling with communication with the center, which it's understandable, right? It's the first few practices with, some new guys out there that he hasn't played with. But McCord, man, went out there just unshook, and he's been throwing the football all over the place. So, but I like Jackson Dart, One Nation, and if whatever coordinator we bring in, if Spytek and Pete Carroll decide to go that route, I trust the process. But I just really want to see who this offensive coordinator is, before I can determine whether I like the quarterback or not. And you guys know this, I like Justin Fields. I'm not saying that he's the end all be all and he's the answer to change, the trajectory of our franchise, because I don't think that he is. But I would love to bring him in, as a bridge guy, go draft another kid and have him out there for a year or two if need be. But he's one of the guys that I'd be interested in free agency if we don't look at the likes of a Sam Darnold or one of the veteran guys out there. Salute to One Nation. Salute to Deuce 4 in the building. Wasted already on his soapbox. All power to you. Salute to my guy, 24 in the building. Salute, yes, Matt. And Dart definitely played with JPJ in high school. Definitely from the same area and all that good stuff. Very close. Very close. And says, get JPJ on the podcast. We tried his rookie season, but the Raiders were not allowing him to step out and do that. I don't know if you guys knew this, but the first 3 rounders, they weren't really playing around. They wanted to make sure those guys, dug in and they weren't, out here potentially putting their brands on the line, their rookie seasons. So, we reached out to DJ Glaze. DJ Glaze's father is phenomenal. He follows me. I follow him on Instagram. We've talked numerous times, but I tried to get JPJ and Brock, and it wasn't happening.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, man, they have a protective force field around them. The Raiders are definitely going to make sure that they protect those guys. But Graphk, man, I mean, look, man, we haven't talked since the Pete Carroll hire, man. We haven't talked since the Spytek hire. Mm-hmm. The Graphk and Wasted train has been derailed.
It has, man. The Shrine Bowl.
Derailed by the Shrine Bowl. Damn it, what are you thinking, my brother?
You know what, man? I just put out a video, for one of our sponsors, BetUS. Salute to them, proud sponsors over there at BetUS. This one's not brought to you by them, but I put out a little short on Instagram, and I call this an A, man. I don't call it an A+ because we missed out on the shiny 38-year-old new toy, Touchdown Buffalo. Wow, that was insane, bro.
Whoa.
Raider great. Max Hollins, let's go.
Oh, no. You talking about missing out of the shiny 38-year-old toy. You want to talk about what the F is going on here?
Yeah. That's nasty work.
What's wrong with you?
But I'll say this. I call it A, man. I mean, look, he's one of the most highly accomplished head coaches ever. Won a national championship at USC. He's won a Rose Bowl, a ton of he's done it all, bro. He's won at every level, and literally one beast mode carry away from having 2 championships at the NFL level. And I love that
he would have had 2 at the NFL level and 2 at the college level, because he had 2 at the college level.
Yes, Vince Young came in there and shut that down immediately, right?
No, but he had 2 championships there.
No, he had 1. Only 1. He won a Rose Bowl. I thought there was 2 as well, but he won a Rose Bowl with them.
Aha.
2 national. He lost the national championship to the Longhorns.
I keep forgetting Vince Young at the
But I love that we have him, Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh, and Andy Reid in this division. It's gonna be fun to watch. I'm just very interested to see these coordinators, and I wonder why it's taking some time to make this happen, because there's a lot of rumors out there, you guys, about his sons potentially coming over. There's also, I don't even want to say this guy's name that he coached out there with Seattle. I believe Pete Carroll fired him twice. A guy that you've mentioned on the phone. I don't even want to say his name out loud because I don't want it to happen.
Wait. Does his last name rhyme with devil?
Yes. It's the New Jersey Devil. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I don't want that to happen. You know what I mean? So I even seen some rumors today about potentially Bo Hardigree, which was weird. You know what I mean?
Now, Bo Hardigree is about to get a job, I think, with Tennessee.
Is it?
I think he's getting a job with another organization. I saw his name up. It had nothing to do with the Raiders, though.
Okay, because I seen some talk. Bears.
The Bears, yeah, my bad. One of those teams.
Yeah.
No, the Tennessee Titans is actually our former GM.
Yes. They brought him in as the assistant GM today. Also, man, I seen Callahan out there all week long too. Doing his homework on this draft. I got to say this before we get back to the Pete thing. For those who are wondering, and salute to Raider DB gifting 5. Raider Nation Unlimited. We appreciate you, brother. And salute to Soul Assassin, gifting 5 as well. You guys want to become Green Dot, get off my lawn gang, hit the links. They're pinned up top. We appreciate you guys so much. Real quick, speaking about the Shrine Bowl, right? We'll get back to Pete real quick. Tennessee had a long interview, and I watched it right in front of my eyes with Shedeur Sanders. And every time, and every time Brian DeBall seen Shedeur Sanders, they had like this handshake, and it just felt like, hey, we're here waiting on you, right? And then everybody magically thinks that,
that's how I felt.
Everybody thinks that magically the Titans, the Browns, and the Giants, there's reports everywhere that they told him not to practice. I'm going to be honest, you guys, I don't think that he was going to practice in the first place. And I know you disagree. I know Sanjit disagrees. I don't think that he needs to. I mean, could you imagine going to the All-Star game and potentially tearing your ACL? Like, for what? You're already a top 10 pick.
Bro, I'm going to be honest. I don't disagree. I was being funny saying that I hope this is a red Marco Shedeur so he can fall to us. The only reason why I was saying
okay, got you. See,
no, bro.
I didn't see the sarcasm in the tweet.
Okay. Yeah, it gets lost in translation.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you guys right now, it looks as though, and this may be the craziest, smoke screen ever seen in the NFL. Those two teams, I know the Browns had their conversations, but the Titans, oh my God, bro! And Callahan and Brian DeBall they've been everywhere that Shedeur was. I'm telling you that right now. So full discussions, and then magically he doesn't go out there. He was out there with us, but he didn't practice. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I understand that. If you're already a top 10 pick and you feel like you're kind of penciled in as a top 5 guy, there's no reason to go out there. This is the thing with him. He comes from a situation with money. Like, the NIL deal with Colorado, all the deals he had. If he loses a couple $1 million for a couple spots, I don't think it's really going to hurt him too much because he's going to get into the NFL and get 1 million endorsements. There's going to be so many things going on. He's a top 10 pick regardless, you guys.
He already got a watch endorsement. He should.
Yeah. And I'll say this. I've seen the Raider brass out there. I didn't get a chance to see if they were actually in communication with him. I know that those guys were in that room. They were doing these interviews where players were just kind of in and out. There was all different kind of teams. We were in one room, I believe, with us, the Patriots, the Steelers, and the Niners, I believe. So, players come in and out, they sit down, they talk. So everybody kind of had their little time and so on and so forth. But I want to say this. I don't believe, this is only why I brought this up. I don't believe that the report about him, these teams telling him to sit, I don't think that's true. I think that he was never planning to do this anyways. I think that, and tell me if I'm tripping, Wasted. I think that he used his star power to bring people in, to put eyes on his teammates. The Jimmy Horn, juniors, those guys, his brother Shiloh, Will Shepherd, all those guys, to highlight them. So he's here, put the limelight on them.
100%.
And Shedeur has tried to get away from everything. He's out there literally coaching these guys. He was over there with McCord talking to him, brought the playbook out. It was really cool the way he was going about his business out there. Brady Cook, the Missouri quarterback, like he was out there talking to all these guys. Shedeur, for whoever out there, regardless if you guys are not Shedeur fans, football-wise, understandable. If you don't like his game, cool. But all that noise and shit about him being diva and all that. He's not that at all. Every person in the media, from every team out there to every guy out there, they're playing from the East-West teams, they absolutely love and adore Shedeur. No pun intended. So
Bro, all I've ever seen him do, I mean, anytime, is be a selfless guy. I've seen him uplift his teammates. I've seen him work hard. I've seen him say the right things, do the right things. The thing that bothers me is, thank you, sweetheart, appreciate it. The thing that bothers me about the way that they view Shedeur is the fact that he has confidence. Like, why does he have to, dim his light to make the American public feel comfortable with him? Yeah. Why does he have to be this all shucks guy? Why does he not have to have any swagger? And you know what I mean? Like, does it mean having swagger means that you're not thoughtful, you're not a hard worker, you're not a good teammate? I just really hate the attack on Shedeur's character, bro. It's that's why I root for the kid. No matter where he goes, I'm gonna root for him, man, because I think it's been kind of bush league and low hanging fruit to say that he's a diva based off the fact that he got some swagger and hey, man, he pull up in that shit with that shit on. And
also, I want to put this out there. Salute to Dion, but also salute to Pilar. Is it Pilar? His mom?
Pilar, the gorgeous Pilar Sanders.
I want to say this because every interview that they were in, that I was by and phones out, they mentioned their mom. Why can't y'all mention our mom? Our mom played a part in this, so on and so forth. But I want to give Dion his credit because every guy from Colorado that we interviewed and we talked to, every one of them was so intelligent, already ready, knowing how to address the media. Every time I mentioned Vegas, they talked about the tax, the no state tax, and they kind of broke it down to a T. Wasted, like it wasn't just, oh yeah, there's no state tax out there. It was like a going into detail, and I was sitting there like in awe, like Dion has these kids prepared and ready to go, and money wise, mentally. I just love what Dion has done, and I had a conversation with Dion Sanders Jr. yesterday. And I went up to him and just said, hey, dude, I'm so happy. I'm proud to watch the way you guys back each other up at all times. And he said, yo, bro, that means a lot to me, man. And I was like, yo, I mean that, bro. Like, I love the way you guys operate as a unit. You guys stand behind each other regardless of anything. I love that. So real quick, salute. I just wanted to put that little tidbit out there, you guys. Shedeur is teams are looking at him. Let me just say that. I'm not saying that the Titans are going to take him or the Giants or even the Cleveland Browns. I'm just saying that they are enamored with him for sure. They spent a lot of time with him, especially the Titans. And then Brian DeBall with the little handshakes. And I was just like, yo, they a little tapped in. They're a little too tapped in. So keep an eye on that. Salute to John Jones. Let's get back to the show and back to Pete Carroll. Who do you guys like to see as our OC in DC? Look, I don't even know what the options are at this point, John Jones. I truly don't. I don't know if they're going to bring back Ken Norton Jr. Remember this, defensive coordinator wise, this is Pete Carroll's defense. Okay. Like, he's a defensive minded guy. He's a head coach, but he's a defensive minded guy. So I'm not really too much worried about who he brings in, whether it's Gus Bradley. And I know a lot of people are freaking out about that. Or Ken Norton Jr., who sucked with us with Jack Del Rio as the head coach. That defense did not play the way we wanted it to with all those weapons we had on the defense side of the ball. Khalil Mack, Reggie Nelson, whatever. We can go back to that. But we were missing some spots. Don't get it confused. But we were offensive juggernaut in that 2016 year. But I don't really know. I don't know who's really going to be. Is it Sean Waldron? I don't know. Is he going to be available?
Shane Waldron could be available. Bobby Slowick, there's no connection there.
There's none.
Kubiak has already been snatched up in the market. Yeah. But this is the thing with Slowick and whomever, right? The one thing Pete Carroll has always been is a cultivator of talent from the coaching perspective. Yeah. And it doesn't matter whether there's a connection now. Like, I remember Pete Carroll, going out there and bringing in guys that were just floating around out there.
Yeah. Rob Leonard's my guy. That's my guy.
What you said, Rob Leonard?
I would love for him to be the defensive coordinator because he already has the heartbeat in that room. You know what I'm saying? Like, and those guys love him. Max loves him. Wilkins loves him. I just think that he could be a vessel between Pete Carroll, and that defense.
Yeah, I do as well. And that's one way to not upset the apple cart when you already have a Max Crosby who's looks like he's posturing for something in the media right now, right? He's probably posturing for guaranteed money, right? Yeah, I mean, that's something that he's brought up, and that's fair and valid.
Yeah.
But you got to kind of placate Max on some level, right? And I've always been a staunch proponent against not placating him, but I think keeping Rob Leonard in the building in some kind of a capacity is goodwill towards the team.
Yeah.
To try to keep some semblance of uniformity, because that's the one thing that I've heard players from the Raiders talk about is the fact that they haven't been able to kind of keep that culture rolling.
Yeah.
To kind of keep that kind of that continuity. And this is the one reason why initially when we start talking about hiring a coach, I was one of the people who initially brought up Pete Carroll. Mm-hmm. Because I think what Pete Carroll does is he brings the X's and O's that John Gruden and Josh McDaniels have, and he brings the culture building aspect of Antonio Pierce all in one coach.
Yeah, agreed.
And he also
with the experience already,
with the experience and the cachet of being a winner, and he brings instant credibility when he walks through the door. So you're not gonna have to get him to win the guys over as far as does he know what he's doing. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's done it on every single level, everywhere he's ever been. He's always won. So I think that's why Pete Carroll makes sense for the Raiders right now. I know there were a lot of you out there that say, hey, this guy's old. How many years is he going to be here, right? Yeah. But to be honest with you, if he gives us 3 good years, that's 3 better good years than we've had in a long goddamn time, man.
And once again, building that culture. And hopefully it's sustainable. And it's Pete Carroll. I trust in him to put a sustainable culture out there that will last, however long that it need be. So I definitely, I'm right there with you. Salute to Cap. Everyone in Raider Nation needs to mentally prepare themselves if we sign Russ in free agency. I wouldn't hate it, but you need to draft we're going to draft a quarterback anyways. And look, we're not the biggest fans of Russell Wilson. We know that, the best years are behind him, but he was a 9-time Pro Bowler with Pete Carroll. He won a Super Bowl with Pete Carroll. I know they had a great defense out there, the Legion of Boom and so on and so forth. But once again, this is an older version of that guy. You know what I'm saying? He's not the same Russell Wilson, but I have no issue if they reunite out there for a year or so as him, the bridge guy. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not the biggest Russell guy, and sometimes he can come off as a little corny, but it is what it is. If Pete Carroll trusts that Russell Wilson can come over and help us at the quarterback position, I'm all for it. And it sounds like those guys are really cool now. Whatever they went through in the past, when they shipped them off to Denver and so on and so forth, it sounds like they corrected it. They righted the ship. Russ had nothing but kind words to say about him on the Pat McAfee show. And I think that they're kind of getting closer, to potentially reunite. And once again, I don't know if you've seen Ian Rappaport put it out there that Russ wanted to be a Raider last year.
Yeah, listen, wasted been told you. Who was pounding the table for Russell Wilson last season?
Pause.
No, you can't recover from what you said. Don't even try it. Don't try to pull your little Graphk magic. No. But let's be for real. I was a person who last year wanted us to bring in Russ. Now, This year I feel a little differently, right? He's a year older. He's been with Pittsburgh. And, the thing is, I don't see Pittsburgh, unless they draft a quarterback, moving on from Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I don't see it because, right, the team – now what happens is the team goes into the toilet at this point if you don't bring Russell Wilson in, right?
Well, he's a free agent, so he can pick and choose wherever he wants to go.
Yeah, but why would you leave a situation where you're clearly going to be the starter? You have a lot of weapons. You know what I mean? So it'd be pretty much you picking a guy, Mike Tomlin, who
a lot of weapons.
Your career.
What are these weapons that you speak of?
Well, look, Najee Harris is a free agent, right? But so if you bring him back,
he's gone.
He might not be gone.
He has Warren. He has Pickens.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I would rather have a Brock Bowers, a Jacoby Myers, a Trey Tucker, a Michael Mayer. I'm just
no, you're absolutely right. But this is the thing about Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll. They're making nice now, but people forget that Russell Wilson was pretty much asking for Pete Carroll to be fired.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
he was asking for
that was the rumors and innuendo around NFL.
No, that was a fact. And what wound up happening was he was the one who ran out of the door. So they can make nice in the media's eye. He can say all of the nice things he wants.
Let me say this real quick before you. This happens all the time, bro. When you're a winner and you always win, right? And you start going downhill. What happened in New England with Tom Brady, the head coach, the G? This happens when these great teams, these juggernauts, start to lose. They all start kicking each other's chest in. We see that, Richard Sherman, all these guys had problems and issues. It happens because you're on a downswing of that run. I'm not buying into that, bro. This happens every single.
This what you need to buy into, right? Let me ask you something. Graphic Raider.
AOC and MVP incoming for sure.
No, Josh, RG. Let me ask you a question.
Damn, got me fucked.
If somebody, everybody know you gotta get the F out of here. Listen, if somebody tried to get you fired, would you forgive them even if it was 5-6 years later?
It's the NFL, man.
Pete Carroll ain't forget about that. He ain't forget about it. And I'm going to tell you something. The same thing with Brady and Belichick. He needed a coach. You see, he didn't bring Belichick in here.
Well, let me ask you this then, because I love that. Because we realistically, we're not behind any of these conversations. We don't know what's going on, right? We don't know if it's true. We don't know if they're playing nice, in the public. I mean, Pete Carroll ain't said shit. At least I haven't seen anything from Pete Carroll. And their introduction is tomorrow, you guys. For those who have no idea, I think it's 11 a.m. Pacific time. Pete Carroll and Spy Tech will be introduced to the nation tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And we'll be covering that the entire time as well. So stay tuned for that. But let me say this. Geno Smith. I know he is coming off of a down season this year, right? He has one more year on his deal. He is 35 years old, getting a little up there, a little long in the tooth, But would that be a guy that you would be interested in? Because honestly, he's already flirting with the idea. I don't know if you've seen this, but he went on Instagram and started posting pictures of Pete Carroll, and then he put some kind of weird
hustle quote and all of that stuff.
Cryptic message saying, "How long should I stay dedicated? How long till opportunity meets preparation?" That was
Nipsey Hussle.
Yes. So how do you feel about potentially looking at him if it's not Russ in the offseason? These are two guys that have a connection to Pete Carroll, and it's clear that Geno is frustrated in Seattle. He didn't like the way the offense went this year. He did not have the numbers that he's accustomed to at least the last few years. DK Metcalf was pissed off in that system last year. I think he had like 900 yards this year. I mean, honestly, this was, I think, the worst year that DK Metcalf has had since his rookie season. You know what I'm saying? He only had 900 yards. He only averaged 15.5, which is, I think, his third worst. No, you know what? It's actually one of the better years in his career, but he only had 5 touchdowns, which is the worst he's had ever in his young career. Would you look at Geno here, and then we'll get to the DK Metcalf, because a lot of people are talking about this. See, this is the thing, you guys. Y'all don't realize it's so easy to pinpoint these guys to the Raiders because of the connection with Pete Carroll. How do y'all know that Pete Carroll's not trying to turn a new leaf and start?
And that was, to be quite real, that was what my answer is. Okay. My answer is to start anew, to establish something new. I think this is the media being lazy. The low-hanging fruit of the National Football League. Okay, I play for Pete Carroll, and the Raiders need a quarterback. 1 + 1 = 2, right? But guess what? I want 1 + 1 to equal 4. I want the Raiders to do something different, bro, because Geno Smith is not going to get us to where we need to go. What Geno Smith essentially does is he puts us in mediocrity hell. I would rather go out there and take a flyer on a younger quarterback and or somebody that's a little more physically talented than Geno Smith than to bring Geno Smith in.
Okay.
For real. So I'm going to be 100% real with you.
Like the likes of a Justin Fields is only like 26, 27 years old.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And I agree, because once again, Geno's at the end of his career. I mean, he still has a few years left. I'm not trying to get him out of the league right now, but I'm in agreement with you. And I don't think just because he's cool with Pete, that's the move to make. I think Russ makes sense because he won't cost as much as like a Sam Darnold, who's probably going to cost over $30 million. You probably get Russ for half of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see. But I would say this. I think that Russ will take a look at the Raiders. I think that he will use that as a bargaining chip against Pittsburgh, and as he should, because they have a decision to make. Is it him or Justin Fields? You know what I mean? And regardless, one of those guys are probably going to remain in Pittsburgh. I don't think they're going to lose both of them. I don't think that I don't think those guys dislike Tomlin to do him like that and both of them leave. I think one of them is going to stick. But I don't know if it's Russ. And if he wanted to go to Vegas, we know that Sierra is an artist, and she can get a residency down there in Vegas. It makes all the sense in the world for his wife to go out there and get a buck, and instead of sitting out there in Pittsburgh and looking at all those goddamn ran down oil refineries and shit or whatever the hell's out there. I'm just saying, bro, it makes sense family wise to bust a move out to Vegas.
You mean steel bills, but
whatever the fuck it is, bro.
Well, you know, you got to get your robber barons right.
Yeah, I've never been
your robber barons right. But look, bro. At the end of the day, I think Russell Wilson at this point in his career is just trying to go where he's going to play football. He can't be worried about what his wife wants. He doesn't demand and command anything at this point in his career. Now, the other day, I brought up Zach Wilson possibly being somebody that the Raiders might want to take a flyer.
Don't say that too loud, Wasted, because you know the nation gonna kill you for that.
I don't care. Listen. I said that shit the other day, and I've been saying it. Look, go out there and go bring in younger, physically talented guys. Let us have the next Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Let us go and get that guy who didn't get a fair shake and was drafted very highly. That is the spirit of what the Raiders actually are. See, when you go and you take those flyers on players who were drafted and it kind of didn't work out, if you don't have the right infrastructure and the right coaching staff in place, it doesn't normally work. But with a guy like Pete Carroll, who's a developer of players, and this Raider situation where a lot of people look at the Raider roster and they say, oh, the Raiders need a lot of help. The Raiders are about 5 players away from being one of the better rosters in this division. Yeah, and I know people will be like, no. But the Raiders have a lot of talent.
We do, but it's at key positions where it's tough, right? The quarterback, the running back spot. You know, we can use another corner. Like we're bare at needy positions. Let's just say that, right?
Yeah, but the running back is very, very easily solved, right?
It wasn't last year, but I hear you though.
But this year in this draft, this is one of the most running back laden drafts. You can get 2 backs in this draft, right?
Oh yeah.
You can go out there in free agency, addition by subtraction.
You get 2 backs.
Yeah, that's right. 2 baby back. 2 backs.
2 backs, baby.
Well, hold on, 2 backs.
I agree with you. I agree.
But yo, you can go get a guard. You can get the guard from Kansas City. Right now, you got a guy that plays at a Pro Bowl level on your offensive line to go along with a JPJ, right? To go along with a Dylan Parham. So now your line is kind of solvent. Your running game is a little solvent. You go out there, you draft properly, you add to this defensive line. Now you have something. You're cooking with gas at this point.
And look at another guy, Joshua Gray. This is one of my favorite players in this draft. I'm telling y'all now, Oregon State. Talked to the kid today. I didn't interview. Well, I interviewed him, but it was off record, and I just talked to him a little bit. He's from Rancho Cucamonga. He's from California.
Rancho Cucamonga.
Hey man, you know, I said, man, what do you think about Vegas, man? And he was just like, man, it'd be an honor. You know what I'm saying, and this is a guy that played predominantly left tackle. You know, he's undersized. He's only 6'4", so he knows he has to be a guard at the next level. So they prepared him for that this year at Oregon State and put him at left guard, moved him around a little bit, so he's very versatile. That is a name to keep an eye on if we don't get the likes of like a Booker, because Booker's going to be a first-round pick. I'm telling you now, his name, bro, I heard so much about him these past few days from there's a few teams that I heard. You know, I heard Pittsburgh's high on Kobe. They're high on Kobe Bryant, bro. I heard their scouting department.
I take him in every mock draft. I love that kid.
I am ear hustling, bro, because Kobe killed the Shrine. And I can't wait to watch him actually play this. You know, this
look at my guy, you fake ass insider. I love that shit, yo.
I'm ear hustling. I'm still by in Pittsburgh, bro.
I love it,
bro. They were on Kobe tough. So keep an eye. And you know they love those shit talking corners. You know, he's 6 foot, long arms. Like they like it's like the Porters of the world, right? They like those kind of guys. I'm telling you right now, keep an eye on Pittsburgh with Kobe Bryant. And if he ends up there, I told you guys that first. So Jose,
this is a new segment, y'all. The Graphk Report. This is the Graphk. This is a new I love it. The Graphk Report.
So to Jose, Graphk and Wasted, I think a name to look out for. PG doesn't get resigned because there's a lot of rumors about Graham potentially. I think Ryan Nielsen would be a good choice. He played for Carroll at USC, and Carroll advocated for him to get his first job. Okay, well, I think
Jose Toscano is the man, bro.
He is, bro. He always brings these names that nobody else would think about.
These obscure names, man.
Yeah, I love it, man. Salute to Jose. That's definitely something that we need to do our homework on here. I still think personally, though, if he doesn't go with the retread, a guy that he trusts, I think Rob Leonard's going to be the guy, bro. I do. I think that he may elevate him, and I'd be excited about that. Salute to Damaja. People often talk about bridge quarterbacks. Carroll is a bridge head coach. He's here to change the culture and make an attractive destination. When he decides to hang it up, don't love the hire, but I understand it. And look, Damage, I think, I get why people wouldn't love not having the young guy. The Ben Johnson would be one of the youngest head coaches in the NFL. The thing is this, though. One thing that Pete Carroll is that Ben Johnson is not is proven. And, one thing that Tom Brady has done is won. And one thing Pete Carroll has done is won. And I think that these guys realize that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you guys seen the little interview. I didn't listen to it, but apparently Ben Johnson's agent came out and said the Raiders were never really in it. That's not verbatim, whatever he said. Bullshit. That is bullshit. The Raiders were definitely in on the entire thing. They tried to I guess it was something along the lines of he was trying to raise the money up in Chicago or whatever the hell it was, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to say this. Pete was always an option for the Raiders. He was always an option.
Yeah, and that's what we heard initially, and that's one of the reasons why we brought him up initially. See, this is the thing about the
Damage. I get it. Go ahead, brother.
Damage. You know what's funny? Let me ask Raider Nation a quick question, right? You guys ask us questions. I want to ask you one. If Ben Johnson had have taken the Raiders off his list and would have wanted no connection with the Raiders, and that whole narrative would have been stomped out way before the season ended, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you guys be upset about Pete Carroll? You'd be happy because if you look at it, Pete Carroll is the best option besides Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
In this whole coaching ethos, He is the best option besides. I think that, it's a 1A, 1B situation as far as hiring goes.
I agree. And then you got the Aaron Glenn's, the Mike McCarthy's potentially, even though he doesn't have a job right now. So I agree with you. Salute to Kenny Mack. Clinton Kubiak was hired. Bobby Slowick, please. Now, this is the thing. There's a lot of talk, once again. I don't want to sound like I'm on my shit, but there's a lot of talk about, and now it's starting to kind of trickle on Twitter as well, that Houston was kind of upset with his predictable offense. And would I bring him in? Definitely. I definitely would. But year two with CJ didn't look like year one. Wasted, right? They had some injuries, Stephon Diggs and Tank Dale. They had some things that happened out there in Houston. But there was a lot of talk about that offense being very predictable, and that was the reason. But then there was also rumors and rumblings about something that may have happened behind the scenes as well. So I don't know if it was all football related, and I've never heard a word bad about Bobby Slowick. So I'm not trying to throw that into the universe, but I'm just saying that there was talks about something maybe even being personal behind the scenes. So it
has to be, because if you look at CJ Stroud from 2023 to 2024. His completion percentage in 2023 was 63.9.
Yeah.
In 2024 was 63.2. Passing yards a game was 273.9. 2024, 219.2. Right. Almost every metric, 23 passing touchdowns as a rookie, 20 passing touchdowns in 2024. Now, this is the number that's an issue. 5 interceptions as a rookie, 12 interceptions as a sophomore play caller. And I gotta say something, man. When does any of this fall on the player? Look, when does this fall on CJ, bro? He wrapped up his second season as a play caller, and then they run the guy out of the door.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is a guy
back-to-back playoff seasons.
Back-to-back playoff seasons. And this is a guy who spent 6 seasons in San Francisco, and I think there's been a noticeable difference in him being out of the building in San Francisco. Yeah. He was a major reason why CJ Stroud had that historic campaign in 2023. So I don't understand, barring anything personal, why you would run the guy out of the building. Where you got to kind of start looking at the player. I just don't like how every time a player struggles in the National Football League, you go and point to some coach to get fired. It has to be a pound of flesh. Like why can't you put that on a player?
But at this point, I'm not passing up on a Bobby Slowick. If he's available, bring him in. Honestly. Sky high. Looks like them Buffs wide receivers was cooking out there. Who out of the 3 would you want us to draft? Shepard, big body. Man, Shep had this great rep against Jabbar Muhammad. Dog. Went up right by the boundary. Went up.
Yeah, you called me.
Brought it down. It was a pass interference on it, but he still came down with it. And Jabbar Muhammad is a dog. Very, very short, 5'10". Will Shepard 6'3", 6'4". So, but it was a beautiful rep by Will Shepard. And Shep looked good out there returning kicks. They had him on special teams as a gunner. He was looking really good out there as a gunner. So I would pick Shep. Well, you know what? No, I'm lying. I go Wester. I think Wester has the most He had the most production out of Colorado, the receivers this year. But, bro, the speed in the hands, the route running ability, special teams wise, I would go with Wester. And I like Horn, you guys, but the problem is he drops the football a lot. He's a speed demon, but he has drops. And that was on full display as well this week. And I like Jimmy Horn Jr. He was a good kid, very respectful, looked good out there, looked great at times. But Wester, to me, Wester looked phenomenal out there, hands down. Him, who else? I'm trying to think. There was a few other guys out there. The kid from Miami was ripping and running too. I'll go over the roster here in a second, you guys, and we'll talk about it. And my guy Ricky too out of UNLV looked good out there as well. Speed on full display, great route tree. I love that kid. If he's available in the mid rounds, I would take him as well. So, but I'd go Wester. If I had to choose one of the buffs, I'm taking him. And James, I appreciate you, brother. Let me say this. That was one of my favorite people I talked to this week. And I just talked to him a few hours ago. Kid is a phenomenal human being. The thing is this, right? He had 800, somewhere like 800, 900 yards rushing this year with South Carolina. The year prior, he only had 200 because he was dealing with a knee injury. The year prior, he had like 1,500 yards on the ground. Mm-hmm. So the only thing that scares me, and he says he's healthy, and this is what he should be saying, right? He doesn't know who he's talking to. He's selling himself. He said that he's healthy now. But the thing that scares me is a knee injury and a shoulder injury to Raheem Sanders. It kind of scared me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But he's a really phenomenal kid. And if he really is healthy, I wouldn't have a problem taking him in those later rounds. If he was the second back that we took, if we took two, I wouldn't have an issue with that. Good kid, good head on his shoulders. Would like him. Also, Taj, man, we talked about him a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this kid is phenomenal, dog. He was out there catching the football a lot out of the backfield. Had some nice runs. I mean, they weren't out there going full, head-on collision out there, but the kid was running the football hard, man. That's another guy that I'm definitely taking a look at as well. Taj out of Texas Tech. That kid is.
Yeah, I mean, look, you have so many running backs this year, man. It's an embarrassment of riches. If that's the a position of need, you have a chance to find. And I think this draft of running backs is going to be similar to last year's quarterback draft, where you're going to have a whole bunch of guys that are going to reset the league at that position. A lot of young players are going to reset the league at that position. Yeah. I just, bro, the thing that I need to see, because the one thing we know about John Spytek, the one thing we know about Pete Carroll is they probably have the same vision for what a Raider looks like. And I think that's something that's been missing in the building the last few years. Brady, Pete Carroll, Spytek, they have a vision for what a Raider is. Yeah. They're all on the same page. And what I know about John Spytek is he's a guy who values production. He values production over potential. Yep. And that is something that you got to keep your eye on. Pete Carroll is a guy who focuses on running the football, right? Similar to the way the Philadelphia Eagles are. Pete Carroll focuses on running the ball down your throat, playing strong, stout defense. So I think the Raiders are going to be built kind of in the same mold as the Eagles are.
I love that. And if that's the way to go, though, get the trenches right on both sides. And J-Ro, look, I'm not going to go to one game. I've watched him since Jackson State. I'm not going to refer to just one game. I've seen enough to know that this kid can get it done at the next level. But does it depend on where he goes? He may go to Cleveland and shit the bed.
It always depends on whatever quarterback goes, man. Like, come on, let's not do that, man.
Yeah, even with Nashville, even though I don't know what he would look like with Callahan and company out there, getting their hands around. They got Calvin Ridley. They got some weapons out there, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to refer to one game. I've watched multiple from Colorado to Jackson State. I'm not a guy that is a prisoner of the moment, J-Ro. I don't watch one game and say, oh, he did. No, he's had a lot of games where he's shown poise. This guy's ran for his life. He's took a lot of sacks, pause, because it's bad offensive lines. I mean, the ground game ain't been phenomenal in Colorado. This kid has kind of went up against all odds, bro. And he showed me, what he's made of. And then seeing the character, like I just see that he's a guy. And that was the thing that a lot of people were saying when they were coming up to me saying, what do you think about Shedeur? Because they see me all rated out. And they all said the same thing. They were like, when I gave them my take, they said, look, man, he was built for the lights. He was built for the lights. Vegas is a perfect place for him to go because he was built for it.
Yeah, but now, bro, today the Cleveland Browns put out a statement saying that they don't really care about, what Deion Sanders wants. Yeah. Because Deion Sanders said that he doesn't want his boys playing there, right?
Well, he never said Cleveland. He just said there's
certain teams, and there are a lot of people, and we understand that, right?
Yeah.
This is the thing for me, right? I think that the price to move up to 2 from 6 is markedly less than it once was.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you why, right? This is a draft that is filled and riddled with talent, right?
Buffalo's about to score again. 1st and 10 at KC's 9.
Awesome.
Pause.
And then you have a situation where the Cleveland Browns have several quarterbacks in the building that they're paying a lot of money to, right? And the Cleveland Browns probably would be better served to get BPA and go out there and try to run with some of the guys because their quarterback room is filled out with.
Well, Winston's a free agent, so.
But even Dorian Thompson-Robinson, they have a guy that could be a placeholder to wait for Deshaun Watson. Even though I don't think Deshaun Watson is in their long-term plans, they've squeezed the juice out of that lemon, right?
And there's already a rumor that they may go out and even try to bring Flacco back into the mix.
Yeah, and they probably should, right? So the thing is, I don't think the price, yesterday's price is not today's price, right? I don't think the price will be as steep as it once was because this is an iffy quarterback draft. And this is not the kind of draft that you would want a team to move up to grab somebody, right? Yeah. So let me ask you a question, man, because I'm hearing rumors that the Raiders would be advantageous to moving up and getting Shedeur Sanders.
Yes.
What would that price be for you, man? Like, what if it was a 1, a 2, and a 2 next year? Would you do it?
Oh, I mean, for that, definitely. Because, well, let me say this. You're going to give him more than that. You mean you're 1 this year, so you're going to give him 6, a second, and you said a future second?
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Bro, let me cook, man.
You're going to get that quarterback tax, bro. You know that exists, right?
So let's do a little, let's look at trade ups. Let's look at what the price was.
And you do that while I read this real quick. Let me catch these supers real fast while you bring that up. Salute to Larry. If QBs go 1 or 2, you trade to 3 for Hunter or Carter. Keep building that defense. I would love either one of those guys. To me, they're both closer to the most generational guys in this draft. In Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter. I would love that, Larry. Salute to you on the $5. Salute to Ty. Once again, I wanted Russ last year for the cheap. And we all talked about him potentially being a guy last year for the cheap. The years prior, I didn't want him. I was like, I don't want no Russell Wilson. But I was like, yo, if you can get him for what was it? Like $1 million? Pennies on the dollar, like go get him. And what they do? They went for Gardner Minshew instead. And they paid him 15 times what you would have had to pay Russell Wilson.
Yeah, which was crazy. That was such a bad decision, man. Organizationally, man, somebody needs to be slapped for making that fucking decision, bro. That was a fireable offense if I've ever seen one. So
Tom Telesco was fired, but
yeah, I'm just saying that was a fireable offense. So when people sit up there and they pine over Tom Telesco, him bringing in Gardner Minshew and trying to jam that whole scenario down our throat, and then them winning at the end of the season and not getting the number 1 pick, it's unbelievable, bro. It's unbelievable. It just goes to show you that, when you have people that aren't on the same page, it'll drive an organization into the ground. Now, look, I pulled up some history on the last few times people have moved up, right? The Packers moved up to get Jordan Love, right? So Green Bay sent its first-round pick, number 30, a 4th-round pick to Miami for pick number 26, right? Wasn't a steep price because it was the back end of the first round. Now the Jets go to number 2 to get Sam Darnold. So this is the exact same situation that we're in now. The New York Jets sent its first-round pick, number 6, 2 second-round picks, and a second-round pick in 2019 to Indianapolis for pick number 3. The second rounders to move up 3 spots is a steep price, man. And that's the last time. Okay, Josh Allen, right? Buffalo sent his first-round pick, number 12, and 2 second-round picks to Tampa Bay for number 7 to move up.
Yeah.
For 12. So Graphk. I think I'm kind of on to something here, bro.
But the thing is this: if they decide on doing it, right? The only reason I trust the process, I think Shedeur can be good, but the thing is Tom Brady, and who's more familiar with him than Tom Brady? Simple.
Well, could you do me a favor and tell me that I was right? Because I'm always effing right.
No, you're wrong. You're definitely wrong.
Always right. That is wrong with you.
You're going to move up. You're going to give up a first, moving up 4 spots. You probably got to give up your future first, and then like a middle rounder at least.
I'm right. You're wrong.
I would assume the first this year, one of the thirds this year, and a future first.
I'm right. You're wrong.
Jermaine, you can't say this, okay? Metcalf is definitely not washed, bro. He's literally 27 years old, bro. Like,
bro, God damn, like what? Yo, why do you always want to put everybody in the old folks' home nowadays? Somebody has like one half a down season in their what?
He just turned
20. Out of here.
He just turned 27. It was clear that they went and drafted the kid out of Ohio State. He's the number one option out there now. So DK kind of fell out of favor. He was the number two. Look, if I can get 900 yards out of my number two guy, I'm happy. You know what I mean? I know that everybody wants DK because DK had, I mean, honestly, you guys, can we keep this shit a buck here? I mean, that's what we do over here, right? He's had 1,300 yards one time. Every other time, look, 992 yards last year, 1,100 in 2023, 1,048 in 2022, 967 in 2021, 1,300 in 2020, which is the best one of his career. Then he had 900. I mean, bro, I mean, honestly,
bro, when you got three good receivers like that, one year you could be 1A.
Yeah, they got Tyler Lockett too.
Next year you could be 1C.
Yeah.
You got Njigba and you got Tyler Lockett out there, bro. Like, bro, there's no clear-cut guy that's number one. I know we look at DK and look at the size and say, yo, he's the number one guy. But if I'm being honest, Tyler Lockett is probably the most complete guy. And then Njigba is unbelievable, bro. So I think what winds up happening is that kind of role, who's Batman and who's Robin, kind of changes.
Hey, real quick, you guys, Vinny B put something out there a few minutes ago as well. I know everyone's asking about the Raiders OC and DC jobs. Keep in mind, both job searches are subject to league's diversity compliance guidelines as well. So there is a process. So once again, we have to go through the exact same process, the Rooney Rule and all the other stuff with coordinators. So stay tuned. It's going to take some time. So salute to Vinny B, salute to Ty. I don't want to fight, bro. Look, I don't want to fight, brother. I don't want to, man. Anybody that will pull up to a Raider party with a torn ACL, I don't want no smoke with, bro. I don't want no issue with, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it is definitely. This is one of them jokers, man, that'll come back like the zombie and creep show. Thanks for the ride, lady. You got to beat him damn near off, man.
Yeah, I got to say this too, y'all. I seen Champ a lot. I told Wasted when I first came here, right? He said, like, he went like this, what's up? I'm not assuming that Champ knew who I was, but he see me rated out. So he was like, oh, what's up? So I said, what's up? Every day since then, he's looking at me like, who the fuck is this guy? Why the fuck is he here every day? Champ Kelly's looking like, why is like the other day he had two scouts with him, and they were looking and salute to. I'm not gonna put his name out there because he watches this show, and salute to him, good dude. He told me that he watches our show a lot when he's on the road to catch up on what's going on in the nation. But they were looking like they did this shit, and it's every day since Champ is like Champ looking at me like who the fuck?
Like, yo, did this motherfucker work for the
Raiders?
Yeah. Did Tom Brady not tell us he hired? Is he a spy? Is he watching us?
And I'm also gonna say this too. Look, this is no knock. I'm not talking about the Raider guys because I kind of stayed clear. I was just kind of in my own world. But I would say this, man. A lot of these guys, I told you this behind the scenes, but these dudes use this shit as a reunion, like scouts talking to other team scouts, not even watching what's going on in the field. I'm like, this is why so many of these fucking football teams are ass, bro. Like I put something on a tweet out there the other day, and I'm like, this dude, I'm sitting behind, and this guy says, man, some of these dudes, man, they need a scouting handbook. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Bro, I look back, I'm not gonna say the jersey, I'm not gonna say the team.
But it's a bottom third team.
But it's a top 5 team. And I looked at this other dude. I said, bro, this motherfucker needs to read the same handbook. Like, bro, like these guys are out there kicking it, drinking their coffee, talking shit while the players are playing. I'm like, to be honest, the more the content creators and the guys that do podcasts, they were more tapped in doing videos and shit like that. I see some of these guys with notebooks that weren't even touching them motherfuckers. I'm like, oh, this is what's going on. I'm like, you know what, man? Look, I'm gonna go over here and do my thing. I'm gonna run around. I'm not talking to nobody. I definitely tapped in, and I got some scouts that we're gonna bring on the show, and I got some other guys that we're definitely gonna bring on. But I'm like, bruh, like this shit is crazy. Salute to Ant. Trade back if Abdul Carter is not available. Pete used to trade back. I remember that. Seattle was known for that. They'll trade out the first so quick, fast enough. But we're at 6 though. Pete wasn't at 6.
Well, do you guys want to go through some of Pete Carroll's drafts? Would you guys like to do that?
Ian Graphk report.
Ian Graphk report. So, what was Pete's last year there? Was it 2023? He was there for 2023, right?
Yes. No. He left. Didn't he leave 2022?
I'm asking. I forget, man. I forget because I know 2023 was the Devin Witherspoon.
Yes, he was there. That was his last draft, I believe.
That was his last draft. So Devin Witherspoon was the number 1 pick that draft. They had another number 1 pick in Jackson Smith and Jigba. Yeah. Derek Hall, Zach Charbonnet, Anthony Bradford, Cameron Young, Mike Morris.
And let me say this real quick, Wasted, while you read that. People don't realize he was a senior advisor for the Seahawks this year, too.
Yeah.
So he wasn't sitting at home. He essentially was like a Rob Ryan, one of those kind of guys that are still chimed in and keeping an eyes on what's going on. So go ahead, brother. My bad.
So in 2022, Charles Cross, offensive lineman, pick at 9. Boye Mafe, defensive end, terrific pick. Kenneth Walker, second rounder, the third running back. Abraham Lucas, beast. Yep. Kobe Bryant, corner at 4. Tariq Woolen, 5th round pick.
Our guy.
Tyke Smith,
Georgia.
Bo Melton, wide receiver out of Rutgers, and Derek. I can't pronounce his name. Young, right?
Yeah.
2021 was a light year. It only had 3 picks. Dwayne Esrid, Trey Brown, and Stone Forsythe. 2020, Jordan Brooks, Darryl Taylor, Damian Lewis, Kobe Parkinson, DJ Dallas, Alton Robinson, Freddie Swain, Steven Sullivan. That wasn't the greatest draft. 2019, LJ Collier was their number 1 pick. Marquise Blair, that was a defensive end. Marquise Blair, safety. DK Metcalf was taken in that draft.
Yeah.
Cody Bart was taken in that draft. And a bunch of guys that you guys have never heard of. Then the 2018 draft, Rashard Penny, Rasheem Green.
Which he would have been great coming out of San Diego State if he could have stayed healthy. He was a guy that a lot of people were talking about could have been a generational type running back because he had the size, he had the skill set, but he just could not stay healthy. Yeah, Rashard Penny was one of those guys, brother, I was so high on, but he just could not. He's just durability.
Yeah, he couldn't do it. He couldn't stay healthy, right? They took Shaquem Griffith, Trey Flowers. Damn good pick out of Texas.
But look, we could do this all day. Pete Carroll has had some phenomenal drafts. I mean, and we know who Pete Carroll is. He's built that thing up. And once again, he's always found other great assistants and guys that eventually go on to become, whether it's head coaches or coordinators elsewhere. He always finds ways to bring great minds around him and find ways to have one of the best defenses in the league. You know what I mean? And then they had one of the top offenses as well with Russ.
The reason why I'm doing this really quickly is because I want to get back to his first year with the Seahawks, and that's the reason why I went on. I was gonna skip over some of these other years, right? His first draft with the Seahawks was Russell Okung, first round.
Yeah,
Earl Thomas in the first round.
Supposed to be a guy. Okung was supposed to be.
Okung was a perennial starter. Pretty damn good pick. Earl Thomas, great safety. Golden Tate in the second round.
Notre Dame, baby.
Walter Thurman. In the 4th round, E.J. Wilson.
The Thurminator.
Yo, Cam Chancellor in the 5th round. Yo, they got Earl Thomas, Golden Tate, Russell Okung, and Cam Chancellor in the same draft.
That's Sherman in the 5th round too.
Yeah, that was the next draft.
Yeah,
he got Chris Durham in the 4th and Sherman in the 5th round the next year. Byron Maxwell, another one of their guys.
He was a stud for them as well for a few years.
And your Super Bowl MVP, Malcolm Smith in the 7th round.
Yeah, former greater great.
Yo, 2012, they got Bruce Irvin in the 1st round, Bobby Wagner in the 2nd, and Russell Wilson in the 3rd.
And Bobby Wagner just got eliminated today, and I know he's up there in age. He's not putting up as many tackles as he used to, right? But he was really happy on Twitter about Pete Carroll getting the job. He's a free agent, you guys. Probably wouldn't cost a lot. You can probably bring him in. Let me get these supers real quick. We're way behind. What about Josh McCown for OC? Almost became a head coach. Look, I would love to bring a Josh McCown. He's a name that a lot of people are talking about in NFL circles right now as a guy that everybody's saying he deserves to be that. So I wouldn't be against bringing in Josh McCown.
No, I mean, there's some names out there. Byron Leftwich is a name to keep an eye on.
Connection, Brady connection. Yeah.
Thad Lewis from the Bucs is a name to keep an eye on. Brian Johnson was the Eagles OC in 2023. He's a guy to keep an eye on. Frank Reich And also another former Raider which is a rising assistant, is Ronald Curry is a guy to keep an eye on to bring in.
Ooh.
Ronald Curry's out there cooking, man. He is cooking.
Salute the Sweet Jazz. Sorry, boys. Oh my God. Ohio State Buckeyes. Put some respect on that. I'm neutral on a quarterback for next season, unless we get number 1 or number 2 in the draft. I say fill in other holes on the roster first. Salute the Sweet Jazz. I'm not against that. If you don't get your quarterback there in the first, go take the best defensive player out there or build up them trenches. You know what I'm saying? Like either way, on either side of the football. You know what I mean? But I agree with you, Sweet Jazz. You got to take the best players out there. You got to build this thing up the right way. But if we can somehow, some way, find a way to get a Cam or a Shedeur, man, I'm all for it. As long as you're not giving up the farm in order to do so. Salute to Sweet Jazz and Notre Dame fighting Irish till we die. I hate y'all. Salute to Damager. And I hate Gary on too, because he hit me up. He deleted.
Yeah, I was kicking it with him the other day too about that.
Gary on Conley, he actually deleted the tweet because I think he felt like I felt sometimes. It was too fresh. It was too fresh. You know what I'm saying? But salute to Gary on. Salute to Ohio State. I have no issue with you guys. Salute to Damager. Pete was hired because the Raiders got a reality check. Nobody notable wanted to come here, and understandably so. Raiders needed this hire. Well, Damage, that's not true. Every coach that's in this cycle honestly came in for an interview. So how is that even Damage? That's not true. The one prize was the guy that turned the job down. Bro, we could have hired Robert Salah. We could have hired Vance Joseph. All these other guys. We brought all these guys in. Todd Monken didn't even take an interview anywhere.
No.
So, I mean, but that's not true, Damage. And I see where you're going, and I understand the frustration of taking the older guy. But bro, that's not true. Every coach that was out there pretty much took an interview with us.
Bro, and Todd Monken is not 5 years old. The guy's pretty fucking old, too.
Yeah, he's old as shit, too. Yeah. I like Dante Thornton from Tennessee on day 3. Salute to official Vaughn. I'm about to do my homework on that kid then. Dante Thornton. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna do some homework. Salute to official Vaughn. Salute to 2-4 Graphk Raider, NFL Insider, kicking Adam Schefter's ass to the curb. Yo, welcome to the Graphk Raider NFL Report. Just like Wasted Talents said, and Wasted Talents NFL Rumors. Salute to my guy 24 in the building, one of the new mob fathers over here in the building with the wrench. I appreciate you, brother. Real talk. Let me catch up real fast. We're almost at the bottom, and real quick, you guys. The Bills are doing their Dougie right now. 4th and 1 at their own 48, 22-21. Did they miss the extra point? What do you do right here if you're Buffalo? You're on the road, 4th and 1 at your own 48.
Go for it.
I'll go for it too. I don't give a fuck.
You got a 265-pound quarterback. He ain't 265, but go for it. What, 245, that kid?
I'll take my chances with Chris Jones with Josh Allen. If I had only with a Josh Allen, no. Salute to that Raiders fan. Carroll was coaching in Stockton UOP back in yep. Didn't he damn near that was one of his first gigs that he got back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Carroll, what year was that? 83?
Pete Carroll coaching history, man.
Yes, he started Pacific. No. I'm sorry. He started Pacific in 73 to 76 as a graduate assistant as a coach. So, but he started there previously. He was at Pacific years prior. He went from Pacific to Arkansas to Iowa State to Ohio State, North Carolina State, and then he went back to Pacific as a defensive coordinator. And then he entered the NFL with the Buffalo Bills, Vikings, Jets, so on and so forth. So, and then he went to the Niners. I don't know if you guys know this. Pete Carroll's from San Francisco. He's from the Bay Area. So he's very familiar also with the Oakland Raiders, which will always be the Oakland Raiders. Salute to that Raiders fan. Niles, my sis, appreciate you as always. Salute Graphk and Wasted Raiders. And salute for the 5. You already know we appreciate you so much.
Niles, man. Thank you
to all the new members here in the building. And thank you to our sis, Niles, for always coming through and blessing us as always. Salute to all the new Green Dot gang and Get Off My Lawn gang here in the building. Appreciate you as always. Salute to Jorge. Cam Scatterboo should be our running back 1 next year. I don't even know. Oh, they went for a 2-point conversion. Okay, so that's what happened. I'm not that my fire stick just cut off, so I can't watch the game. Look, Cam's probably going to go in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
The highest 2nd. I don't see him going anywhere near the 1st round. And I'm going to be honest, Jorge, I love Cam Scatterboo. I'm a Sacramento guy. I love the way he runs the football. He's violent. He can catch the football to the backfield. I think he had 600 passing yards this year in Arizona State. Phenomenal talent. But I'm telling you now, I'm going to say this until the draft even – Omarion Hampton, your life depended on it. And
Bro, they're 4 of the guys I got
I like Trayvon Henderson as well. Ohio State, another guy that I would love to bring in. Harvey's starting to drop down boards, bro. I don't know what's going on.
Harvey.
He's starting to be like available in like the later rounds. And there wasn't – I asked a lot of guys about the running back position. His name didn't come up once. So I don't know what the hell is going on. Central Florida, I don't know what the deal is, but that's a guy, though, that could be one of the ones at the next level for sure. But definitely, you could probably get him in those mid. I'll say maybe 4th, 5th, or RJ Harvey, unless another team falls in love with him during the combine, which it could happen. Salute to S. Dot. Carroll's offensive line picking is trash as mid, though. We can all agree on that, right? Look, you already know you don't want to talk no offensive line with S. Dot. He's pulling up and he's just dropping haymaker after. Let me ask you this, S. Dot. Would you turn all of his offensive linemen that he drafted into fullbacks?
I mean, what the F is up with this guy? This guy loves turning offensive linemen into fullback.
Salute to our brother S. Dot. And I'm not going to act like he's hit it out the ballpark with every pick. Robert, he was supposed to be one of those guys. He was good, but he was supposed to be great, though.
Yeah, Russell Okung, yeah. I mean, listen, he was a perennial starter.
Oh, yeah.
The Pro Bowler, too.
Where you draft him, you assume that he'll be a guy, that would be.
Out of Texas, right?
Yeah. You know what I mean? I think, was Russell Okung?
I'm trying to remember, bro. I'm getting old.
Me too. But I know he bounced around the league a little bit. Oklahoma State,
my bad.
There you go.
One of them orange teams.
Well, you're one of the orange teams right down here. Anyway, salute to S. Dot. Appreciate you. He said the Bills almost blew it. Right now, you guys, let me see where we are with it. They went for it. They got it.
That was the Bitcoin guy.
Oh, oh, shit. Allen fumbled, but he recovered it. You know how many times Josh Allen has fumbled today and recovered his own? I think it was like 3 times now. I think it's the 3rd time.
Yeah, he's trying to get him the game.
Yeah, bro. Oh, my God. Get some questions in, you guys. Salute to everybody here in the building. Wipe them feet, y'all. Make sure you pay them bar tabs. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed yet. Sampson and Hampton are better than Scatterboo. Salute. And Dylan Sampson's another name that I heard a lot over here as well out of Tennessee. Another guy that people are high on because of the versatility, being able to run the football and catch the football in the backfield. He's a guy that a lot of people like a lot. 4th and 1 again, bro. Another 4th and 1.
Hey, listen, this is where the money is on the table, baby. The money is on the table. Go for it.
We're gonna see what it do. Yeah, Jason, I definitely like Henderson as well. Can you do a position ranking, breaking them all down? Definitely. Bro, look, we're gonna have so much content here. I got a whole list. You know what? Can I go over a few guys? Pause if necessary that I thought played pretty well here at the Shrine Bowl. For those who are interested, if you guys need an opportunity to check out all the videos that I uploaded in the shorts area on YouTube, go check them out. Interviewed a ton of players. They're on Instagram and Twitter as well. But there was a few guys. Let me exit out some of these windows real quick that I thought that looked really good. Keep an eye on another guy that we took in a few mock drafts, Zy Alexander, the DB out of LSU. He looked good. There's another edge rusher that Sanjit's high on. And when you see him in person, his measurables, you see he sticks out. The production wasn't crazy at Miami as an edge rusher. He had six sacks this past season. That was the most he's ever had in a season. But Tyler Barron, another guy to keep an eye on. Another guy is Tyler Batty, the edge rusher out of BYU. Didn't have a ton of getting to the quarterback at the collegiate level, but his energy, man, it's infectious. When you watch him out there, he's a tone setter on the defensive line. That's a guy that I can see potentially down the line opposite of Max Crosby that can be one of those ones. Taj Brooks for sure. This is a guy out of Texas Tech that I think is going to make some organization at some point very happy. Kobe Bryant was the man of the week. Simple and plain. There's 2 more practices tomorrow and Tuesday. But Kobe Bryant, man, long arm, 6 foot, corner out of Kansas. Dude is a phenomenal talent. And he has another guy that's a sparring partner out there, another DB that not a lot of people talk about is Melo. He looked good out there as well. You know what I mean? So Melo Dotson, keep an eye on him out of Kansas. Let me see. There's a few more players on my list on this side of the team. I liked how O'Donnell Fortune looked as well, the South Carolina DB. He had a few spots out there. I thought he was cool. Aronde Gadsden, the wide receiver for Syracuse, big body, 6'5", 6'6". His dad's a former NFL player. He was like one of the number 1 targets out there.
In Miami.
No. For Syracuse.
Oh, you're talking
you mean his dad? His dad.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Correct. But he's another guy to keep an eye on. 6'5", 6'6". You could probably find him in the middle to later rounds. Look phenomenal. Nick Nash looked good out there. You know what I'm saying? He looked good. The kid out of San Jose State. I thought that he would have flashed a lot more. I was actually shocked to not hear his name a little bit more, but he still looked good out there. I just thought that he would have shined a little bit more. The guy that was a Biletnikoff finalist, and a lot of people thought he was going to win. He looked good out there, but kind of expected a little bit more. Joshua Gray, once again, we talked about him early on. Oregon State guard. He is going to be phenomenal. Can play tackle, can play guard, can play a little center. He is a guy to keep an eye on. There's a guy out there that's measurables, bro. He looks like a specimen. Keep an eye on him. I'm not gonna act like he took the Shrine Bowl by storm, but keep an eye on Nasir Stackhouse, defensive lineman out of Georgia. He's an interesting guy, man. If Rob Leonard got his hands on him, wasted, this kid could be special. LeJontay Wester, another guy that was phenomenal out there. Ricky White, I've talked to him. He would love to return back to Vegas, spend his collegiate career at UNLV, had 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns this past season. And I think the year prior, he had even more than that. So
he was on the draft radar last year.
Yes, definitely. And let me go over to my notes on the other side of things. That was the East team. I was looking for some Notre Dame guys, man. They did not flash. Another name, Noel Williams, DB out of Cal. Looked good day one. He was a beast out there. That's a guy that you can potentially look at in those mid to later rounds as well. He flashed. Brady Cook didn't look too good out there. I got to keep it a buck with him.
Yeah, man. I mean, you could see the line of demarcation between some of the guys.
Yeah.
On some of these other bigger teams, man, because you look at Ohio State, man. Ohio State spent $22 million in NIL this year.
Yeah.
They got by far, they spent the most out of any school, and the boosters. See, NIL kind of makes the, that whole SEC dominance kind of gets swatted away because you got a lot of big heavy hitters that have graduated from Ohio State, Michigan. I kind of wonder about Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder why they, I wonder if they're playing the same NIL game as everyone else because it doesn't look like it. Because it looked like a pro team versus there was a definite difference in talent in the Notre Dame Ohio State game.
The best defensive tackle out there. We're going to do some homework on him in the off seasons. Jordan Phillips out of Maryland. This kid was all over the place. Wasted. I'm telling you right now, he can be one of those guys you can put in the middle of that interior, that defensive line, and he could be a guy that could be good for you for years, man. Keep an eye on Jordan Phillips, defensive tackle. Kid looked really good out there. I mean, there was a ton of names. I mean, honestly, there was only a few that I thought really were like, it's just clear cut. You see him and you're like, okay, they're like above and beyond better than most of these guys out here, right? And it was clear on the offensive line, it was Joshua Gray, Kobe Bryant, once again at the corner position, LeJontay Wester, Ricky White. I like Nick Nash a lot. I think Will Shepherd can be great in the right situation, but there was some talent out there. But I'm not going to act like there was guys that were out there just like you're like, oh my God, I have to. I think the only player I seen out there was Kobe Bryant. That was like, I would love for him to be a Raider.
Yeah. And look, he's a guy I pick on almost every one of my mock drafts. Look, when you get into these all-star games and stuff like that, you're only going to see certain attributes. The film is going to be the real indication of what kind of player these guys are. I think that's why a lot of these scouts are really kind of like look for social cues and things of that nature. Yeah. They're going to look at the way they play, but they know that these all-star games are just a place for them to get up close and personal with these guys, get their medicals, stuff like that. That's why people participate in it. It's like, it's like a pre-NFL combine. It's really just for the medicals for a lot of these guys, man.
Yeah. And Kyle McCord too. I'm sorry, Waste. I didn't mean to cut you off. I forgot because I've talked about him so much. That is a guy that clearly was the best quarterback out there, and he's phenomenal. At least against that competition out there. Let me put that out there. He looked great this season at Syracuse, breaking all kind of records and shit, coming over from Ohio State. But that dude looked like the clear-cut best quarterback out there at the Shrine Bowl.
Yeah, Kyle McCord is the real deal, man. He's the real deal. We have to see if he has the physical attributes though to make it at the next level.
Yeah,
I think there's some limitations there, but as far as his throwing motion, you know what I mean, his leadership skills, the way he breaks down offense, is able to take some information.
Yeah.
So he's a guy that at the very minimum is going to be in this National Football League for a decade.
Yeah.
Maybe he might be a backup, but I that's what I see from him. I see him being a guy that is going to be. I see him being similar to Sam Howell.
Okay, I'm not mad about that. That's actually a great comp. But if you can even get that out of him in say the middle rounds, as a guy that can stick on your roster and come in and help you win a few games if your starter goes down, I'm not against that. You know what I'm saying? So
I think he could be a starter too in the right situation. But I'm just saying, I think the basement for him is being Sam Howell.
Okay. Not mad about that. And I like McCord. I think that he could be one of those ones. Jorge, I have no insight. I'm not privy to that information. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to tell you right now, they would not show their hand at all when it comes to Shedeur. I just know this. There was 5 or 6 different conference rooms wasted. There's 4 teams on each one, and Shedeur went through every one of those doors. That's all I'm going to say. So when people make it a big thing about Tennessee, and rightfully so, they're drafted number 1, right? Cleveland, Giants, it makes sense. The Giants' love was just clear as day. I mean, him and DeBall were in public shaking hands, and it was multiple times. But Callahan talked to Shedeur for a very long time, over an hour. They were in that conference room. So, but I'm not privy to any information in terms of Shedeur with the Raiders. I'm gonna be honest, man. Champ Kelly and company were real quiet, real strategic. They didn't really talk a lot. Yeah.
It's just weird because the situation the Raiders in, there's so much upheaval and there's so much changeover. You don't know if these scouts are going to be retained.
And they told me that. A few of them told me that. I literally seen one dude, and I'm not gonna say his name. He was like, "Yo," I was like, he was like, "Man, I got to get that jacket." And I was like, "Bro, what you got going?" He said, "Man, shit, I don't even know. This may be my last day at this motherfucker." You know what I'm saying? like straight. There's so many question marks because of Spy Tech and Carroll that I think maybe some of these guys potentially are checked out. They don't know what the hell, what their future holds.
As long as Champ Kelly isn't, because that's the guy.
Champ was in his bag, bro. I didn't see Champ talking to. There was only 1, maybe 2 people tops, and I seen Champ a million times. I only seen him talk to maybe 2 people. At least Raider wise, I seen him reunite with a few people from Chicago. Was over there talking to some of his guys that he worked with out there, but that was it. But he was really, really chill. Real quick, salute to Ty. I just want to say thank you, Graphk, and Old Man Wasted, and the entire Raider Nation. I was extremely down in the dumps and needed this live today. I lost the BFF Jenny, aka Bigfoot. She always had my back. Prayers.
Sorry to hear that, Ty, bro.
Prayers. Hey, Ty, and you know what we've talked about previously in the DM, bro. If you think about you hit me up, all right? Just Ty. The DM is open, brother. I just want you to know that, all right? Prayers, brother, and rest in paradise to Jenny. You already know. Salute to you, Ty. I appreciate you, brother. But once again, if you need somebody to reach out to, man, hit me in the DM and we can
same, brother, same.
Yeah. But man, outside of that, bro, I don't really.
So it was a really fruitful trip, I see, man.
Well, it's not over yet. Then they got the 2-point conversion too. It's up by 7, 29-22. Buffalo out here just fucking up. There's another practice tomorrow for an hour and a half. There's another one Tuesday for an hour and a half, which I might not be able to make both of those because I got to take my sons to school. My wife has to take my sons to school. So I don't know if I'm be able to do those. But Wednesday, I will be at Ranger Stadium, Globe Life, covering it, and then the game at AT&T on Thursday. So I'll be over there when it matters the most. So you guys will get a ton of more information. I ended up, what's so crazy that nobody even knows this, but I missed out on the Shedeur interview. And you know why? I decided on kicking it at the bar and talking to Ronnie Brown and some legends, like kicking it over there with Sean Merriman, and actually met somebody really cool. And I'm not even gonna say his name. I'm just gonna bring him on the platform very soon. Former NFL guy, played for the Buffalo Bills, was in the NFL for 7 years, former linebacker, and now he's an agent. You know what I mean? And he helps these guys with their money and all kind of, the new era guys out there, meeting and trying to help them maintain their finances, right? I decided to doing that. I just learned so much with that conversation, listening to him, Ronnie Brown and company. And then Frank Gore came. Did I tell you I seen Frank Gore? Frank Gore. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, you know what, man, love Shedeur and love, you know, I know that'll do clicks and all that other stuff. I said, man, I want it at my age. I'm trying to sit here and soak up game and chopped up some game. You know what I mean? Learn some things and now moving forward, bro, I'm going to implement that in what I got going, what we got going. So, but Shedeur will be interviewed a ton these next few days. And I know for sure I'm going to get some type of, you know, some questions in with him sometime here in the near future, in the next few days. So stay tuned for that. But other than that, you guys, I mean, shoot, I think we pretty much covered everything. The thing is with the DK Metcalf thing, you guys, like the contract is insane. It's massive. I don't know if you want to.
She said, that is what she said. Oh my God.
Look, there's a cap hit this year of $31 million, 31.8. Does he want to potentially?
Metcalf ain't going nowhere, bro. Like,
well, he's on an expiring contract. I can see them move him because of all, like, they still have Lockett, even though he's on the way. He's on the way. He's getting up there in age, right? But they have their number one guy. I can see them potentially moving DK Metcalf and just going to get another guy in the draft. They don't even know what they're going to do at the quarterback position because Geno is already acting like he wants to leave. He's on an existing on expiring contract as well. So I can see them move on from him. But the thing is this: 31.8 cap hit. Like, what do you honestly give up for him? I'm not giving up anything more than one of those thirds for DK Metcalf. That's it. One.
I'm not bringing in another free agent wide receiver when you haven't located the quarterback. It doesn't make any sense. Why bring in another guy who wants production and wants the ball and all this stuff? Draft your quarterback. Do whatever you got to do to get your quarterback. Bring in some guys who are in the league that are humble and hardworking. Don't go out there like, you know, because we don't have this team built yet. When the team gets built up, you locate the quarterback, you get a line, you get a running game. Then you go out and you spend big and splurge on the wide receiver. But I want my wide receivers to have that lunch pail mentality, you know, similar to the guys that are in our room right now. Brock Bowers is that kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? All these guys are lunch pail guys that we have now. That's what you need here. You don't need Jacoby Myers is a lunch pail guy. You don't need these guys who are trying to, you know, break records and be in the top of the league and all this kind of stuff because you're trying to reestablish a winning culture. And those guys are trying to establish their market value. And that timeline isn't on the same timeline of the Raiders, man. Keep that out of our building. And I'm not saying DK is some diva, but I'm saying, come on, man.
And Mac Hollins, 3 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown. He just had another big catch right now for 32 yards, putting him at the KC4, second and goal right now for the Buffalo Bills. So it looks like they're driving here, and they may be able to potentially tie the score here. You know, please, God, please, like, just Josh Allen, run the ball. Like, don't overthink this shit. McDermott and Joe Brady, just run the ball. You're at the KC4. I just run Josh Allen 3 times. I wouldn't give a fuck. just run. Actually, you know, he fumbled the ball 3 fucking times. Don't do that. Shit. And you got a big body, a young rookie in Keon Coleman. Go throw the ball up to him. Throw the ball up to him. So to our brother Paul out there.
Do whatever you got to do, but get points. You know, it's time, man. It's time.
Third and go. So they got, at this point, there's 6 minutes left. I don't think you do you go for the field goal here if you can't? I think that the KC4, this is 4 down territory to me.
Yeah, 4 down territory. You have to score touchdowns when you play the Queefs. You have to.
Yeah. Facts. But let me see. Third and go. KC4. So, but yeah, you guys, other than that, man, we will definitely be live all week long. We got a lot more to discuss. We'll cover the whole coordinator talk and you know, I'll be live tomorrow. I don't know. What, you going to work tomorrow? Let me know. If not, we got the presser tomorrow. Pete Carroll and Spy Tech will be introduced to Raider Nation tomorrow, 11 a.m. You guys, Pacific time. So stay tuned for that. We'll go live for the presser, and you know, just be here to be excited with you guys. You know,
brother.
Once again, I'm gonna say this because I said it on my live. I was only live for 15 minutes. Yeah. Once again, Spy Tech, his name was ringing around the NFL, like the NFL circles at the Shrine Bowl. Like, people were talking about him more than they were talking about Pete Carroll, and that speaks volumes about what this guy could potentially do. And once again, I got one of his close associates He does work for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know who else I met? Eric St. John. Was it Eric St. John? Was who the guy, the assistant GM for the Green Bay that we brought in for an interview?
Oh, you met him?
Yeah, met him. That's actually my guy's close friend. He was talking to him for like 2 hours.
Yeah, man. It's cool getting that relationship with these guys that are going to be the next round of hires next year, the years after that. Hopefully, we don't got to worry about that for the next couple of years.
No, definitely. I mean, look, Pete got a 4-year deal, the 4th team option. Spytek got 5 years. I think we're in good hands here. And Brady's running the show. But other than that, you guys, hopefully next time we see you guys, the fucking Buffalo Bills are in the Super Bowl facing the Philadelphia Eagles. Please, God, because I don't want to see the Chiefs in this shit again. And if so, I just hope Philly just don't overthink this shit, Philly. If you see the Chiefs, just give the ball to Saquon.
I don't even want them in the Super Bowl, bro. I don't want to see Taylor Swift's face. I don't want to see. I don't listen. You know what I mean? Like, we need a new champion.
Yeah. Oh, touchdown. There they go. They're about to tie the game right here. There we go. And they went for it on 4th and goal too.
They should.
I love it. Go somewhere with your old ass. Get an Epsom salt bath or some shit, bro. You over there looking crazy, bro.
Man, yeah, I'm in a lot of pain. You know what I'm saying? You just belaboring the show.
Hey, man, you said my full government, you old bastard. I think I can say the Epsom salt bath, man.
Yeah, I mean, but bro, everybody know you're full government.
No, they don't.
They don't.
All right, Jay Jones, let me get the hell out of here real quick, man. Y'all have a blessed night. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We are outro. What?